Well, we're live waiting for Mike. He told me he'll be here today. He talked about, oh, there he is already. Perfect timing, Mike. You're doing a great job. Okay,
Yeah,
Mac, we're live. How are you?
well, I'm here. Man, I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of geared into this, trying barely make it by 4 o'clock every day.
What time would be better for you?
Four, it's okay. No,
Okay.
it's okay.
First of all,
I just,
happy Paul McCartney birthday. First of all, let's talk about your birthday.
yeah, it was my birthday.
It was.
That was that was cool. Oh, yeah, yesterday was my birthday. Hey, talk for just a second.
I'll
Give
do
me
it.
30 seconds. Give me
I'll
30
keep it
seconds.
going. Yes, I will. I'll talk to you about how the episode 3 of Shining Star.
My face will be back in just a second.
All right. Episode 3 of Shining Star is now available anywhere, all the places, all the platforms. It's available. Please listen to it. It's an amazing miracle story about my dad. And today it's the best. Julie Blue did an amazing job on this podcast. And the things that we get to tell and get to highlight about my dad. And really it winds up very good, but it's a good podcast and it's gonna shock a lot of people, I'll tell you that. And so that is available for anyone and all to listen to, the world to listen to. And so I just thought this was going to be 30 seconds, but it's going back. So anyway, I'm just saying, oh, now, here we go. Let's see. Here he comes back. And what's going on now?
Jeez.
Oh, you got the menu? Is that right? Well, number one, we want to highlight your website is michaelreedlive.com. Is that right? I think he's playing with his new headphones here, so let's give him a minute to get everything together. Now can you hear? Okay. You can't hear pretty clearly. Yeah, I think that's clear. So take a minute, get it all figured out, do whatever you need to. We're fine.
Hang on just a second, Dale.
There we go.
Jeez.
There we go. There you go.
There we go.
All right.
I think.
I can hear you now. I can. This is
Okay.
different than it was before. Are these the new headphones?
Well, um, yeah, I have them, but I had to run into the other room real fast. And when you do that, okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm just on the computer. If the AirPods are with your iPhone, yeah, the distance will go a long ways. I mean, not necessarily through different rooms in the house, but
Right.
then when they're pairing up with your computer, it's not the same as pairing up with the iPhone. So I had to run in the other room real quick, and I lost the connection. And so instead of trying to get the connection back, I just went back to this. This is fine.
And let's shout out Donna Skaggs or Donna. Is it Skaggs? I think it is. Donna is helping us learn how to grow this channel and grow these views, which continue to grow. And so just make sure to share this podcast. If anybody's watching this and wants to be on number one, we'd love to have you on. And also, I had a nice conversation last night with Rob Adams, and he's got some big news later this week. And
All
he kind
right.
of gave you and me some free advice on what's going on in Springfield in the coming future. And so I'm very excited to see that and see what he's doing right now.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to check on anything today. It was
Right.
I had a rough day yesterday, as I told you. My
Right.
in here in Southwest Missouri, we have ice everywhere,
A lot of ice. Yes.
a lot of ice, and
It's
ice
kind
don't
of
melt off. Well, and when the ice does melt just a little bit, as it starts to get dark, it just freezes back.
uh,
And my mom was in my car in my driveway, and she went to get out of the car. She stepped both feet out, and she goes,
right.
"Whoa, this is icy." My mom's 89. And I
Right.
said, "Don't try to get out. I'm coming around there to get you. Here I am on crutches. I'm coming to get you. Don't." And she decided she'd do it herself. And she ended up with her butt going bam, bam down the side of the car out into the driveway. Now, since September 1st, I've been dealing with this leg issue. So naturally, muscle wise in my whole body,
Right.
I haven't been able to do a whole lot. And I could not lift her at all. Not to mention it was on ice anyway. So she had her coat, and I grabbed the hood of it and pulled it from underneath her arms, and I drug her all up my driveway, into my garage, and through my garage into the house, and I still couldn't get her up. I got a music dolly and tried to put that under her hind end and use a dolly to try to raise her up. That didn't work. So Darren came down from Ozark. They had to come down just to lift her up. So, man, that was, and I was doing that on my foot that I'm not supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
so,
why I said just take the day off, take your birthday off, because you had a lot to cover yesterday.
Yeah, of all times for that stuff to happen, so it was,
Yes.
it's okay though. And, it was okay. And, I was telling her she's my mom. I said, it's the worst birthday I ever had in my life. Oh my gosh. And then I went back and told her, I said, no, I'm alive. I have my leg.
Absolutely.
My leg off, and you're here with me, Mom. So yeah,
yes.
It's all good. But so anyway, it was yeah, it was an eventful day. Yes, it was. We tried to go out and eat our little normal mom-son birthday lunch yesterday. Right. Nobody was open. I mean, every restaurant, every McDonald's closed. Now we got some McDonald's before we got back to the house.
Right.
And the sack with the McDonald's sandwiches, by the time I got Mom in the house, and they got
well, Mike, this is not a good connection. Let's let Mike get back off and back on. I'm learning how to handle these events when they occur. And this is a freezing. So let's let him go back on. Let's see. Does this help? Let's see. Well, let's go ahead and forge on the stuff that I'm getting to on all these different projects. They're all moving forward. Every bit of it is exciting. Every bit of it is terribly exciting. But one piece, it takes one piece, then another one comes. Every little detail is falling together. And so I'm really excited about what's coming in the future. But just telling you, it takes a lot of wheels to invent all this stuff that we're doing. And so I've heard from, there we go, Mike. I still don't see you though. I hear you though. There's sound. Well, you're on screen, but your picture's not on there. There we're off, and hopefully it'll come back on here. I heard from Peter Danbury last night. He was the guy who did the wonderful voicing for the intern on audio. I talked to him about doing Southern Gothic, which will be great to have him on there. And watching how that thing is going is really selling well on Audible. It's really going to be fun to hear him do what I think is my best book on there. All right, there we are. Let's get you back on.
I don't.
Whatever.
You know what? I think this has, because then I was trying to bring back up the link to get back on here, and I kept getting I kept getting the thing about, or it wasn't doing it. I think it's like we talked. This is on Firefox, and I need to just get all that switched.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think
Chrome is the winner on this.
I think Firefox just doesn't jive well with this this program. Anyway, I'm here.
So anyway, you're here now. What's next for Mike? What's the next plan of the weekend and everything? What's going on in your life?
Well, okay, first of all, I stuck on here today, michaelreedlive.com.
Yes.
It's a website, and it's also my Boogie Heads. It mainly does my green. I have a little $20,000 video set up that they have at Disney and some different places, and it's called Boogie Heads. But that's a website of mine. It's got all kinds of pictures and all kinds of stuff in there, the puppets that I do and ventriloquism. So that's a real interesting website for people to go to. I'm wanting for that to be setting in Branson somewhere.
Without a doubt, that's part of what's going to happen with this thing. Without a doubt, that's going to happen.
Yeah, this summer, and that doesn't matter. Hopefully, we're busy, and I don't have time, and I have to hire somebody to run it. But it's another unique thing. They don't have it in this town anywhere, so that's unique. But it's I just threw that on there. Now, for me, the rest of the week is, tomorrow's Friday is when I was going to come to Crane to the homecoming. Of course, the way the weather is, I don't think I need to be driving to Crane.
Bad idea for everybody. That does not make sense.
And not to mention, I put a thing on Facebook. Any of my friends that were going there, get a hold of me because I'd like to see it. Right. And I haven't heard from any of them. Of course, everybody's got their own life that they're doing stuff, Sure. So it's.
I think just don't do that.
Well, so I think that. Yeah, I think that's. I think I probably just got Friday off, and the little Valentine's thing that I do for the people at the Eagles Lodge in Cape Fear, Missouri. Right. I did it last year. I've known these people forever. Uh-huh. And they said they were, as of now, they're still going to do their little Valentine's party on Saturday nights. It's karaoke and DJ. I've got all the disposable windscreens for the microphones and I've got everything set up to go again, for the COVID thing. And I guess we'll do that because things like that, I call them the animal clubs, the Eagles Lodge, the Moose Lodge, and the Deer Lodge, and the Deer Lodge, and you name it. But it's because in the bands we used to play some of those, and we go, yeah, we're playing an animal lodge tonight. But
right.
Basically, whenever they plan out little parties, like their Valentine's party, it's mainly for the members of the lodge. So it's kind of like their own little private, and it really doesn't matter if they get 10 people there or 100 people there. It comes out of their budget, and it's just something that they do, And so they said unless the weather was just stupid crazy, that as of now, as of a couple days ago, we would still do that on Saturday night. Now, I hear that we may all be getting one of the biggest snowstorms of ever around here or something like that.
Yes.
What they're saying, 12, 14 inches is what they're seeing right now on Monday. And they said that can actually change and go up higher. So, I don't know. I need to get out and buy a shovel today, I guess. What's this? 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There probably are no shovels nowhere.
And you don't need to be shoveling. You don't.
I need to get on
There you go.
Amazon. The best thing to get a shovel now, if you're in this town, I think it'd be just get on Amazon and do the 2-day delivery.
I still
'Cause-
think the shoveler is a better idea, definitely. In your
Well,
condition homes.
you know, I moved here. I was here last winter, and I was like, because everybody said, you know, I was going to get more winter in
Right.
Missouri than I got in Tennessee.
Sure.
And now this year, Tennessee's getting dumped on too. But it's last year we had no winter really. I mean, because I
Right.
was at $7 City during Christmas, and we had one day that was ice everywhere, and it was beautiful. But that was it. Now this year's making up for it. I mean, this whole week right now is just kind of, and it's just as icy out right now as it was yesterday. So it's.
I think so. You know, it's definitely, the thing is, whatever level of ice it is, it's too much. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, ice is a thing. Snow, you can, you can scrape snow and shovel it and do whatever with the snow, and your car tires will go through the snow okay. And
Sure.
I mean, nothing like ice. I mean, ice, you can think it's just fine on your car, and all of a sudden, boom, you hit black ice and you're gone. So I was out yesterday, and I'm supposed to go get my foot wrapped again tomorrow and go do some more blood work.
Okay.
I guess I'll try to get it done. I don't know, but it's that's the rest of my week. It's just my date planner. I open it up to a month, and it's just nothing but doctor's appointments everywhere.
Right.
And that's okay though. It's I guess it's okay. I don't have a choice. You know?
I tell you, this stuff that Rob Adams is doing with his company, all this stuff is so fun, and I've got stuff to share with you, and all this stuff is so cool. And make sure to stay in tune for a big announcement on Friday, as I hear.
On when? Friday?
Friday, he's already contacted me. We're in good standing, can I say? And so I'm just saying, it's so fun to get ahead of these things and get to hear about them.
And tomorrow's Friday, right?
It is
Well,
Friday.
Rob has sent me some stuff, and I just glanced at it. Yeah, between yesterday and my mom and the drag,
Sure.
I remember back when I was a kid, there was a song. You were way too young, but there was a song called Troglodyte, and it just went, it was like, what the words were something like, gotta find a woman, gotta find a woman, gotta find down, and there's this guy talking all the way through it. First, you gotta grab the woman by the hair, and then you pull her through there. It was a stupid song.
Right.
We used to play it at the pool down the hill all the time. But that reminded me so much. I'm like, I hope nobody drives by and sees me dragging my mom.
Yes.
It looked like I had somebody that was dead, and I was just trying to drag them and put them in the garage. But in the same sense, it had been really nice if anybody could have just stopped.
Right. Yes.
And I'm not getting around great, so I wasn't going to try to start going through leave her in the driveway and go over to different houses. And could you come and help me get my mom up? And
well, but you did contact me because I vamped on here, and you contacted me to let me know that you were slowing it on, and that is great. You're making great strides in this stuff, and I really appreciate you doing that.
oh, well, I was right in the middle of all that, and I'm like, well, you're sitting there wondering, because I know I'd told my mom at one point,
Right.
well, I'm out here in the garage. I've got 35 minutes till I'm supposed to be on with Dale.
Yes.
And I can't even get you in the garage. And the next thing I know, I looked at my watch and I was like, okay, I was supposed to be on with Dale 15 minutes ago. And so I told her, just sit right here. Well, I'd got her in the house by then.
Well, that's good, but gosh, what a thing to do. Well, I'm glad that you survived that and your mom survived that, because that's a bad deal for either of you.
Well, I was trying to figure out anything. I was like, I wonder, could I go out in my van? I've got one of those little jacks that you slide under,
Yes.
the slide and they pump, and then they pump up. I thought if I could get a board underneath her butt and somehow turn her over on her side and get that jack under, maybe I could jack her up enough to slide her in a chair. And I'm like, no, just wait till the people get here from Ozark. And that was good that they came down here, though. But you know, they were originally going to buy the house right across the street from us. It's an awesome home. One of the guys from the Texas Tenors own it, and they were originally going to do that because it was going to be, if they ever get sick and need the hospital or help, we were right across the street. And same thing, their grandkid, if he needed somewhere, he could be right there with us. Same way, if we needed something, they were right there. And to this day, I don't know why they ended up setting up in Ozark, you know, especially when he wants to be down here doing stuff all the time. And his wife had said, well, that's Paul. Well, Paul thought that, Mike, that you would have something going and he'd be working at it and everything would be cool.
Right.
I go, well, there's a little more to it than just, okay, I'm going to open it up. Here's your job, Darren. I said, I will be doing something, but I go,
you are doing something. You are, and you're going to. That's a promise. I'm telling you this, all this stuff, every bit of it is coming together. It's really wonderful to watch.
So now check it out. Last night I had the new AirPods in, trying to work with. Oh, and I had a meeting at Best Buy yesterday just to see about tapping them because I wasn't sure I was doing it right. And you have to sign up for a Geek Squad. So it's icy out. I get over there and they're like, well, we don't have any Geek Squad here today. None of them came in.
Yes.
Well, okay. So they got some kid that worked there. Well, I used to have some AirPods here. I can show you some things. And he did. And I just wanted to make sure that I didn't get some bad ones. And so, so anyway, so I got there and I couldn't get nothing, that was a wasted trip basically. But then last night, I just had them working, and you can skip a track or this or that.
Sure.
And so I was on just listening to all kinds of music, just
such as a couple of tracks. Where you listened to
last night?
Yeah.
Oh well, I was actually on my Amazon Music, and I was just going down through playlist and just some of that. And I listen to music when I'm by myself, kind of like I talk. I just do one thing for about 30 seconds. It's on to the next.
Constant skip.
And then I ended up, like I said, I love the old 60s, man. I really admire the artists from back in then, that what they accomplished. And
right.
So I ended up with Peter Noon, Herman's Hermit stuff. Just listen, because
good.
Peter Noon's, his concerts are just phenomenal. They are awesome. They really are. And I
love the fact that he covered David Bowie, and one of the first things that David Bowie did. I think that's so cool.
Well, Peter Noon, he's one of those guys. He's not going to grow old. I mean, he looks 1,000 times better now than he did when he was young, growing up. I mean. So I'm listening to this, and I'm listening to all his stuff, and it's so I find one of his album covers that's the Union Jack flag in the back, right. And it's actually him standing there with the microphone, and I Googled and I found one with a high resolution, and it says Herman Hermit's featuring Peter Noon's greatest hits. It's an album cover, but it's really cool looking. So I got on Vistaprint, put that on a T-shirt, and I'm like, I told you they don't do any trademark type stuff. So I may later today call them, because usually you can get a hold of them and you can talk them in. Oh, can you give me some kind of a deal today on that? Well, let me see. I tell you what, we'll give you the free shipping. How's that? Yeah, okay. But it's so you can end up with a T-shirt that you had printed up for you got about $10 or $11 in it, and I'm like, you made it yourself. So I don't know. I got to probably keep myself from doing that, because it's real cool looking. But it's I don't, but I was up till, oh gosh, probably
Really?
3:30, just
Wow.
listening to music.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know, but yeah, it's kind of weird because since I wasn't on here yesterday, I'm a little out of the loop of what all's going on because I just, I wasn't there. And then,
Well, make sure every time you take this moment to listen to the Shining Star podcast I did about my dad, because the 3rd episode is up today. So everybody needs to go click and subscribe to that podcast. And
yeah, I did see where that was up. I've got, oh my gosh, on your computer emails, and of course, 9/10 of your emails you get are not worth looking at anyway. It's just,
Right.
I've got 1,132 emails over the past 4 or 5 days that have stacked up in here. It's just like when I was trying to get on here with you, like I had 2 minutes and I get an unknown call, spam call. So I answer it because with the hospital, I don't know what all I'm getting.
Sure.
And the guy, I'm looking for Michael Reed. I said, well, it depends on who you are. I need this could be recorded. I want to talk to Michael Reed. I go, well, as soon as you tell me what you're calling about, then I'll see if I can find him. Well, it's a business manner. I go, well, you just told me this call is worthless. So here I'm going, I have just turned you into a law firm where you're being sued for harassment. So I really suggest every time you call me from now on, you get one more mark. And he's like, hey, oh, and then I was talking to some friends of mine that had cancer and stuff about what we had talked about. And I was telling them about my ordeals in spring, my 30 days up there and all the things. And they told me the same stuff that we talked about. He said, I said, Dale, and I don't know if you ever sent me a phone number or not. If you did, it's still there. They said I would just document all that and talk to somebody.
Yes. And you need to do it quick because those laws are very they definitely make it hard to sue. So I would say that.
Yeah, I need to do that. I've got so many things I need to do, but I should be able to do them. It's like not like I'm working anywhere, And my friend Sid that plays bass, harmonica, a little bit of banjo, comedian, all that stuff that I've always, he had the open heart surgery, and I was telling him about You're the Ticket, and he said, well, yeah, he said, and he goes, if you had like a stand-up bass player out there, played harmonica, could do some joking around, stuff like that, which is him. I said, well, I may be giving you a call before.
Exactly. That's the whole idea.
I said, I think you would be tremendous, Sid, and I think you would make good money, and I think it would beat the heck out of standing at SDC in 100-degree weather every day, especially since you had heart surgery and stuff, So anyway, that was kind of good. He's
good. And now it's time to sign off and knee deep in rubber. Anything to say?
Yeah.
You also have something to say.
Knee deep in rubber. Yeah. There's not much rubber out there today, but
live.com. That's important too.
It's a place to go to. Yeah, it's a fun little website.